What is interesting is that in ancient Greek society, it was developed a specific type of connection between the idea of the cure of the bodies, the idea of the cure of the soul, in relation with the idea of religion and politics. In fact, we have to consider that the community in ancient Greeks, the classical community of ancient Greeks, it was the ancient Greek city-states, or the polis, or a singular polis, where each polis consider itself really important, in particular in relation with a specific type of god of Olympus. We know that the pantheon of the gods, goddesses of Olympus, considered a lot of gods and goddesses. The three main gods, for example, after the first type of gods, were Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. The king of the sky, Zeus, the king of the sea, Poseidon, and the king of underworld, Hades. What is interesting in this sense is that the Greeks in general cultivated the idea of a specific type of idea between the gods. For example, the Greeks considered specifically, for example, Hades in relation with the idea of underworld, therefore the idea of death, it was in relation with Hades, but also the idea of commerce, the idea of market, the idea of exchange, in relation necessary with the idea of Poseidon, for example, because Poseidon, it was the king of the sea. In this sense, Greeks developed and built temples, sanctuaries, across the Greece. And at the same time, we know that there was a specific type of connection between politics and religion, with praise, with actions, with cultures, etc. On the one hand, but also the idea of a cure of the body on the other hand. In fact, in this sense, the idea of a cure of the body, it was in relation with specifically the idea of the possibility of perfection, or better, the potential perfection that the gods had. In particular, we know that this type of perfection or potential perfection, it was explained from the artists in the ancient Greek society that exposed and built their sculptures, their perfect sculptures with a perfect body, or that they wanted to exemplify a specific type of perfect body. This is interesting. At the same time, we know that specifically an important activity that the Greeks did in relation with the religion and politics, they were the games. For example, the Olympic Games, or the Delphian Games, or in any case the Panhellenic Games, that were important in relation with, on the one hand, the competition between the ancient Greek city-states, but at the same time also the competition between Greeks themselves, and the competition of the Greeks between them in relation with their religion, that it was the same, but at the same time the Greeks developed a specific type of competition between them in relation with their gods, with a specific type of potential victory in the Panhellenic Games. The men who won the Panhellenic Games, or for example, an example of a Panhellenic Games, Olympic Games, it was considered very important for his city-state, because he gave honor to his city-state. Therefore, the idea of a cure, it is important in this sense, because to become an important hero of the Olympic Games, you had to consider the possibility or the necessity to cure your body, to develop a specific type of training, to have a specific type of concentration, etc., etc. And also, at the same time, to develop a specific type of consideration in relation with the cure of your body, therefore also eat good, live good, etc. This type of connection, it is also interesting because the idea of the soul, it was in relation with the idea, in this sense, of the death, but a passive death. Therefore, according to the ideology of ancient Greeks, each man had to consider his life in relation with the fact that when he will die, his soul, he will go to the underworld, and he will stay into the underworld in a passive way. At the same time, the main critics of this type of idea, of this type of structure, it was Plato, a philosopher of ancient Greek, an important Athenian philosopher of ancient Greek, that developed the idea that considering the philosophy of Pythagoras and the Orphic philosophy, according to Plato, we have to reconsider the idea of a soul as the reincarnation of a soul, and therefore, according to Plato, there is a connection between the soul and the body. In fact, according to Plato, the soul is immortal. It is in relation with only a god, a specific type of god, not a lot of god, but only a god, a demiurge, that create the time and assemble things, and at the same time develop a specific type of intelligence, and this intelligence is divided in different parts, and our soul is one of these parts that is in our body with an incarnation of a soul. Therefore, according to Plato, during our life we have to cure our body to cure our soul. Therefore, according to Plato, our soul is more important than our body. But at the same time, to cure well, to cure truly our soul, we have to cure our body, because if you don't cure our body, we cannot cure our soul. And in this sense, the idea of connection between ancient Greeks and Plato, it is explained, but at the same time there is also the idea that we have to cure our soul with the training. For example, Plato developed a specific type of training, really probably. He was a man in ancient Greeks that, for example, participate also in the last part of the Peloponnesian War. But he when he was young, surely he developed a specific type of training with his physics. And at the same time, he considered also important the study. Therefore, according to Plato, in his academy, it is important the study, it is important the cure of the body, it is important the philosophy, the cure of our soul, to understand, on the one hand, or to try to understand our necessities in relation with the limit life, but in relation with the possibility to a best reincarnation or a better reincarnation in our next life after our death. In fact, according to Plato, there is a theory of reincarnation according to the soul that, according to Plato, is eternal, and the gods of the demiurge, the gods of Plato, is eternal, not only immortal, as the gods of Olympus that had a specific type of origin. The god of Plato, instead, it is eternal without origin. It is outside the time that it had created the time. Bye.